Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica. On today's side series on a Technicality, we're going to be looking at wiring up arcade buttons for your Supergun. This specifically is involving field termination ports, which unlike standard DB15 or DB9 ports, require no soldering. It's a great way to mock up buttons to test out, or if you need like a start or coin button for a second player for a light gun game and you don't want to have an entire stick, this is a really easy way to be able to play that game and take the buttons apart when you're done for use on a different project. So I definitely highly advise it. We're going to go over how it works. So what you're going to see right here is that field termination port does plug in directly to the Supergun. You can use an extension cable as well, but it does work. It's a little loose, but it's good to go on that. What you're looking at now is that actual field termination port. All the pins, including ground, are labeled, so you're able to follow the pinout for your particular Supergun or use, and then you're going to put those cables directly into that field termination port. You have a shared ground, and then all the different pins you would need to be able to install your buttons and wire them up correctly. On the top, the retention is just done by flathead screwdriver post. So what you're going to be seeing here is we're going to be using pin 1. You have 2, 3, 4 all the way around. I didn't strip the wires out on the wiring just because I do want to use them for another use, so just pretend that I have stripped them. You just want to strip them back maybe like ½ an inch at the most to be able to get that bite. But as you turn the screw and loosen it on that post, you're going to see that that metal flange in there is going to drop down. The one on the left is much lower than the other ones on the right. And you're going to be putting that cable on top of the metal post and tightening that screw. That way you have the connection. Same concept as soldering into one of the pin cups on a normal DB15 connector, but this allows us to rewire buttons as we want to, as well as to kind of mock up joysticks. A lot of times you kind of want to test the button placement before you commit to solder, and this allows you to do that. Cable stays in there super snug. So on ground, what you'll see here is I'm putting that cable in as well. I didn't have any daisy chain cables for ground, so I did wire up 2 individual grounds into that same ground port. You can have more than one cable going in there, as many as can fit. You can use that as your common ground. So you'll see here I've wired up 2 buttons. I have 2 cables going into ground, so that ground's shared amongst both arcade buttons, and then I have the red and the yellow cable being the power to that particular pin, so the button will work in the configuration that you need it to. So when you're looking at here with these quick disconnects, you're going to put one end of the quick disconnect from the pin, and then you're going to install the ground as well. These are Sanwa buttons, and there is no ground or live pin. It's just whatever you want to put it in. The circuit makes the connection in either direction, so you really don't have to worry about your configuration as far as that's concerned. But you plug those quick disconnects in, and now you have 2 buttons wired with a parallel ground ready to use with whatever function you need them to. So you'll see here that black ground wire is going to run down to the ground, so that button is grounded out, and the red cable is going to go to the pin. It's not any particular pin out, I just used 2 ports far away so you could see where the wires did go to. On the other button, that white ground is going to go right back into the ground as well, so it is shared, and then the yellow wire is going to go into the appropriate pin for that. So you'll see here as we've plugged that in, I designed this to be a start and a coin button, so when I'm playing light gun arcade games for the second player, not using a joystick, I can just insert coins and press start when I need to. Super easy, and it can be taken apart very quickly. But that's kind of the gist of this. It's a super easy and lightweight way to wire up your buttons. You can do it temporarily or permanently. I definitely advise it. It's just something that'll help you guys be able to create custom controls for games when you don't need anything else other than a few buttons. But thanks so much for watching. We hope you guys liked the video. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe button down below. We'll be back with more episodes of Video Game Esoterica next week. We hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.